Hey, welcome back to my channel. So, 2 weeks ago I said I would make a video showing the final product of the lips with the blood dripping painting, and then I was gone next weekend, so I didn't post a video about it. But here it is. I'm doing it now. This is the finished painting. Looks pretty good. I like it. There's a couple things I would have changed differently about it if I was gonna redo it. I think the teeth look a little bit too, like, platinum white. I think I would rather them be a little more yellow, like realistic teeth, and maybe some more like highlights on the lips, make them look more glossy. But on that, I think it's pretty cool. Yeah, I think I'd want the highlights to look more like the ones on the blood here, just like some pure white, just a little bit there. And I think I'm happy with the choice to make the blood dripping from the lips the same color as the lips, or about the same color. Because when it was different, when it was a slightly more orangey shade than the lips were, you could barely tell the difference, so it looked like a color mistake rather than something intentional, because it was so slight. But I didn't want to make it too orange, because then it doesn't look like blood. So I think just making them about the same color worked pretty well. Now, other than that, there's a couple more things I want to cover in this video. One was that I made my first complete digital drawing. I did this in my summer class that I'm taking right now, and, well, here it is. I'm pretty proud of it for my first digital drawing. I think it turned out pretty well. If you don't know, it's Sif, the Great Wolf, is a boss fight in Dark Souls, one of the games I'm playing on my other YouTube channel. If you want to check that out, maybe I'll put a link up here to click on that, see me play that game. But yeah, this was pretty fun to do. It's the first time I've taken a digital drawing, like, to its completion, because before I've like tested some stuff out, done some experimenting with different programs, different like drawing techniques, and never really liked it or took it to its full potential. But this time I did, at least to, you know, what I can do right now with my first attempt. It's fun trying to learn how digital drawing works, because, you know, like I said, I have no experience with it, so I was trying to figure out how to make the layers work well with each other, how to, like, where should I put each layer. I had this issue. For some reason, I don't even know how it happened, but earlier on in the drawing, like midway through, I made all the layers that should be on the front in the back. Lightning, the sky, and then the ground, it were all in front of the dog and the sword, but like it was cut out right, so it would still look like this, but it was just difficult to work with, because if I wanted to change something, it would mess with the shape of it, because like you could see the empty space in between where the cutout was. So I had to go through and manually like adjust them all to fit right in the correct order. That was a little frustrating, but you know, it was my own doing. There's a lot of experimenting with different brushes, different ways, like using pressure, opacity levels, color grading, and stuff like that. This actually isn't, this is the original. I did one edit of it just to make it look a little more pleasing, because in class we printed them out and the original looked pretty dark on a print, so I turned up the contrast and made it a little more saturated, and this is how it turned out. I think I like this one a little bit better, just because, you know, it looks more colorful, looks more energized, the highlights are a little bit higher, the darks are still there. So I think this one works a little bit better. And also did something weird with the lightning, because in here the white of the lightning is pretty crisp, but in this one, because of the contrast change, I guess, it kind of bloomed it out a little bit, kind of blurred the edges of the white part into the blue around it. It looks cool, it's just different than what I initially planned. Every once in a while my teacher would come around for this class and give me some suggestions on cool things I could add, like, hey, those shadows should be a bit darker if that like strong hard light of the lightning is coming through, and the backs of the grave should be a little bit darker, and it would be cool if like the storm clouds in the background. Then I was thought, oh, storm clouds, lightning, I should do that, and then make like the rim lighting of everything. So I'm liking that class a lot, and he's got some good suggestions to add, and I think overall I took all my ideas and his suggestions and made some really cool with it, so I'm happy with this. Oh, I just realized I didn't even show the sketch for the Sif drawing, because I'm new to digital art, and I guess this is something a lot of digital artists do anyway. I made a little drawing of what I want to do first before like importing it into a drawing program, and this is the sketch I made before. I used as reference a picture from the actual Dark Souls game of like the cutscene of before the boss fight, and I think like the shot, it's really dynamic, you know, the parts coming up close. I think it worked out well, and I made improvements to it with the digital drawing, because at first when I was making the digital drawing and like altering this, I didn't like what I was doing. I thought with every step of the way I was making the original physical drawing look worse with every digital step I took. But then I started to get further into the process and actually be able to add details, add some style, add some of my own personality into the drawing, and I think it worked out really well, and I'm happy that it turned out better than the sketch, because that's a problem I have a lot, is I'll make a sketch of anything. It doesn't just include digital drawing, of anything, paintings, other like full drawings. If I make a sketch and then start to change it towards the full picture, I usually don't like it as much as the sketch. So I'm glad this one was different and worked out well. As for my next painting that I'm going to do, that'll actually record myself making, like record the process so you guys can see how I make a painting, and I'll do a time lapse of it and maybe cut into parts of it and explain what I'm doing. I plan on doing something for Dark Souls. I know this was for Dark Souls, but I wanted to do an actual painting for Dark Souls because that's one of the games I'm playing right now on my other channel. Once again, go check that out. It's a pretty fun series, I'm enjoying it. But yeah, like I said before, I wanted to do more paintings related to the games I'm doing on my other YouTube channel, so that the two channels aren't just like completely separate of each other, they have some correlation, and if you like one thing, you might like its associated thing on the other channel, so I think it'll be fun. Kind of make them both mine, instead of just being like, he's making this and also he's doing this. Why is he doing those two different things? They're so weird. But, you know, make them relate to each other, be a little more cohesive. I was thinking about, for that painting, doing Chaos Witch Quelaag. That's the spider lady that you fight pretty early on in the game, because that's a fun fight, and I think that's a really cool character design. It's strange, but it's cool. I think it would be fun to paint because I like painting some horror stuff, some kind of creepy things. I don't have enough experience with it, so I want to try to do more, and I think that'd be a fun experiment, because that spider's got some really cool details to it, some really weird anatomy. And I think I can do some cool stuff to make it look really creepy. That's all I really have for art for today, but one other thing I want to talk about before I end the video is about the kind of businessy part of this, of what I'm doing. So I've changed what I'm doing a couple times with how I want to sell the art. I thought maybe I'll set up a Facebook Marketplace, maybe I'll set up an Instagram shop, maybe I'll set up a YouTube shop, maybe I'll set up a website. Those all are giving me trouble. I'm having trouble setting things up. I could probably have somebody help me, but, you know, nah. So I decided, as I'm starting out anyway, I probably don't need a whole shop of any sort yet, because I only got a few items. I got a really small following, if I don't even have a following. So why put a bunch of work into some big elaborate thing when it's not going to get much attention anyway? So I thought, you know what, I'll just set up a business email if you wanted to buy a painting, if you wanted to check my stock, see what I have in store, or if you just want to say hi. You can just do that, send me an email, and we can talk and just discuss anything. I don't really have prices set for my paintings yet because I'm new at this. I have no idea what I should charge for my paintings. I have no idea what people would buy them for. So if you want to buy something, we can discuss prices and figure something out. And after a certain amount of time, after having some interactions where we figure out pricing, then maybe I'll have more set prices from the get-go instead of having to discuss each one, just because I don't know what I should charge yet. Speaking of current stock though, I could just say what I have right now to let you guys know so you don't have to ask every time. I mean, you can go back and look at other videos, but it might be easier and helpful just to, you know, show them every once in a while. So my current stock is the lips painting that I just finished, self-portrait I made of the distorted picture, the grayscale one, and the Minecraft style pixelated one of the Minecraft landscape. Those are the three I have in stock, so if you want to email me about want to buy any of them or anything like that, maybe I can make prints of them too. I'm not sure. I don't know how to go about that. I don't know if there's a store I can go to, a place that makes prints of stuff like that. I have no clue. If you have any ideas, you can make a comment and send me an email about that to help me out. But yeah, those are the three I got, and soon to be more. So thank you for watching, and see you in the next video, where I'll start making that painting from Dark Souls, and you can see how I do it, see how my process. Later.